Hello and welcome to all the fantasy trading card game collectors out there. This is my Gen Con preview video for 2025. I'm filming this on Thursday, July 31st, which is the first day of Gen Con. It is a 4-day event that happens in Indianapolis, Indiana every year. It runs through Sunday, August 3rd this weekend, and is also known as the 4 hottest days in gaming. As you can see by this picture, it's already sold out all 4 days. All the badges are gone. If you don't have a badge, you will not be able to get into Gen Con. Luckily, I'll be going, and in today's video, I'm going to show you what I'm bringing with me and what you'll be missing if you don't go to Gen Con this year. If you've never been to Gen Con, it's probably the largest convention of its kind in the United States. I first went to Gen Con in 2013, and I also went in 2014. This is a 4-day badge from that convention. Back at that time, I interviewed the artists that were at the art show for an article I was writing. That included Mark Poole and April Lee, who were at the show back then. It also included Jeff Menges, who was working on a 20th anniversary book for Magic the Gathering. Jeff is going to be at the Sorcery booth this year, so I especially wanted to go back to Gen Con to meet up with Jeff and get all my Sorcery cards signed. Jeff put together this beautiful Magic the Gathering tribute to the original artists of Magic the Gathering, which I've talked about on the channel before. I like to take this to the conventions that I go to and have the original artists sign their pages like Rob Alexander did here. There's one artist in this book that will be at Gen Con this year that I have not met in person, and that is Ed Beard Jr. Ed did all the Elder Dragons in the Magic the Gathering's Legends set, and I've never met Ed in person at any of the conventions. So I'm going to have Ed sign this book on his page at Gen Con this year. I'm also going to pick up my Dragon Lord mini set that Ed Beard Jr. did for Sorcery Contested Realm. This will be at the Eric's Curiosa booth, officially launching on Saturday, August 2nd, but it's available all 4 days. I'm told that it will be limited to one set per customer each day of Gen Con. I was unable to get the 4-day badge to go all 4 days, so I was able to get a single day badge. So I'm going to try to get one of these on Sunday while I'm there. Ed did this beautiful mini set of dragons for Sorcery that should be included in this box, plus one random foil from that set. So everybody is going to be chasing those Dragon Lord foils, and I'll see what I can get on Sunday while I'm at Gen Con in Indy. I'm also going to bring some Magic the Gathering cards that Ed Beard Jr. drew to get Ed signed when I'm at the Sorcery booth getting my Dragon Lord mini set. Most famously, Ed drew the Elder Dragons for the Legend set. This is a Nicole Bolas that I'll have signed that was reprinted in Time Shifted. There's also some Italian Legends. I don't have all of the English Legends, but I do have a set of the Italian Legend Elder Dragons that are very, very popular for EDH and Commander. This is Arcade Sabbath, Chromium, Nicole Bolas, and Palladium Morris. These are some of the most iconic Magic the Gathering dragons. They were reprinted in the Chronicles set. Most people recognize the white borders. There's also several cards from the Camelot Legends board game that I talked about previously on the channel. So I'm going to bring my Camelot Legends set to get these awesome fantasy artists to sign their cards. Ed Beard Jr., who did the Dragon Lord mini set, also did these game cards for the Camelot Legends set. I covered this in my preparation for the Arthurian Legends Sorcery release, but you can see that Ed Beard Jr. did this beautiful piece of Camelot, as well as this Cornwall Castle. So I'm going to bring these cards and have Ed Beard Jr. sign those when he signs my Magic the Gathering book and all of my Magic cards. These cards were from the Camelot Legends game that Ed Beard Jr. did, so I'm going to have him sign this Sir Bedivere, Sir Mordred, Sir Paris, and the White Knight. There's also the Black Knight, Lady of the Lake, and Visit to the Otherworld. Those are all cards that Ed Beard Jr. did. You might also recognize the Cyclopean Mummy from Legends, and this Princess from Legends. Ed also did Draconian Silex from Fallen Empires, and the Timmy Power Gamer from Unglued. So I'll have Ed sign all of those when I meet up with Ed at the Sorcery Eric's Curiosa booth. And while I'm at Eric's Curiosa's booth getting Ed Beer Jr. to sign all my Dragon Lord cards, I'm also going to bring all my Jeff Mangus cards for Jeff to sign. Jeff also contributed to the Camelot Legends and drew this Excalibur card for Camelot Legends, as well as Sir Tristan, Sword in the Stone, and Trial by Combat. I have some Alpha Sorcery cards. The last time I saw Jeff was at MagicCon Minneapolis in 2023, which I think was right before the Beta Sorcery came out. Since then, I've been able to collect some Alpha Sorcery cards. I've completed the Beta playset of Sorcery, and I've also completed a set of Arthurian Legends. So I'll have Jeff sign some of these foil cards. I'll probably have him sign on the back. This is the Blink Blizzard. This is an Alpha Blizzard. The Beta Blink, which was a misprint, but I'll have Jeff sign his artwork on the back of the foil. Also, Watchtower, which is the playmat that I'm using today. I'll bring this Artist Series playmat for Jeff to sign again at Gen Con this weekend. And Arthurian Legends as well. Jeff did a number of cards in Sorcery's Arthurian Legends set. I'll bring these. I'll get Jeff to sign these. I'll catch up with him, including this Camelot that he did for Arthurian Legends. I'll have him sign all of those. I have some graded cards too that I like to get artists to sign. This is the Camelot Premier Card Grading PCG 10. I'll have Jeff sign this on the back, really beautiful, as well as this promo Rubble foil token. I'll have Jeff sign his artwork on this graded card as well. I'll be wearing my Sorcery t-shirts that I got from the Sorcery Dust Reward store, so I can rep Eric's Curiosa and stop by the Sorcery booth this weekend at Gen Con. I'm also going to bring some Fallen Empires booster packs to get signed. If you've seen my previous videos, you know I like to go to the MagicCons and get all of the artists that contributed to Fallen Empires to sign some booster packs for me. So I'm going to bring these booster packs and have Ed Beer Jr., Jeff Mangus, Mark Poole, and Mark Tadine sign all these Fallen Empires packs for me as well. Finally, on today's video, I made an entire list of all the artists that are appearing at Gen Con. It's one of the larger art shows happening every year. There are a total of 85 artists appearing at the art show. I've listed these alphabetically by first name. 26 of these 85 artists are also Magic the Gathering artists. So I've gone through my Magic the Gathering card collection and I've pulled some cards that these artists have done. I'm going to bring those with me to get signed if I have some time after stopping by the Sorcery booth. I know it's a very ambitious trip this year, but I think I can get it done. So in addition to Ed Beer Jr. and Jeff Mangus, who both drew art for Magic the Gathering and Fallen Empires, this is the 85 artists that will be there in case any of these are your favorite. Again, do like and subscribe to my channel if you want information about fantasy card artists, including Alex Dos Diaz, who will be at Gen Con. Alex did art in Magic the Gathering. Amelia Leonard's art, Amy Nagy, Andrew Schmandrew Art Thompson, who also did Magic the Gathering, Andy Kehoe art, Bruce Bernice, who's a Magic artist, Bryce Coe draws, Caitlin Kurlich, Chris Casciano, Christopher Burdett, Magic artist, Coy Kuhn, Corey Godby, Crystal Sully, who's a Magic artist, Dan Miriam Scott, also Magic the Gathering artist, Danny Schwartz, Deb J.J. Lee, Devin L. Kurtz, Dustin Panzino, Elaine Ho, Elizabeth Alba, Emerald Barkley, Eric Deschamps, a fantastic Magic the Gathering artist. Eric Fortune does Magic. I've never met Eric before. Erica Williams does Magic the Gathering. Eric Lee, Erica Taguchi, Fian Arroyo art, Gawky, Helen Musk illustration, Ivy Alive, Jacob Walker art / Critical Critters, Jennifer Rabota Lesser, Jenny Lee, Joe Sluker does Magic the Gathering, John Stanko does Magic the Gathering, John Sideridas, Keisha Siemens, Ki Hasuk, Kerseal, Elib Lab Illustrations, Laura Deal, Lindsay Burkhart art, Lisa Falkenstern, Mad Break art, Malaveth, Mark Bim, Magic the Gathering. Mark Poole, who I mentioned, does Magic the Gathering and did Fallen Empires. Mark Tadine as well, both Magic the Gathering and Fallen Empires. Marco Manev, also Magic the Gathering. Matt Emmons, Madak, Meg Illustrated, Megan Lara, Melissa Sue Stanley, Meredith Dillman, Michael Blank, Michael Kuskarski, Nen Chang, Olena Lena Richards does Magic the Gathering. Omar Rayan also does Magic the Gathering. Owen William Weber. Philip Byers, the Elslans. Continuing, we have Quentin Gleam does Magic the Gathering. Rico Murikama. Ren Attack. Rhonda Libby, who does Magic the Gathering. I'll point that out in a second. That's one of my favorite new cards from Rhonda. RJ Palmer, RK Post, a legendary Magic the Gathering artist. Rob Ray, Sarah Finnegan, Scott M. Fisher, and Scott Murphy all do Magic the Gathering. Sean Andrew Murray, Sean D. Price, Shai Kustis, Steve Ellis illustration does Magic the Gathering. Susan Shorter, Tawny Fritz art, The Art of Rain, Tran Nguyen, Magic the Gathering artist. Voidbug, Von Art, Wade Acuff, Zara Alfonso does Magic the Gathering, who we've met at Las Vegas before, and Zirin Works are all of the 85 artists at the Gen Con Art Show. 26 of them did Magic the Gathering, in case you're interested in bringing the Magic the Gathering cards to sign, including Ed Beard Jr. and Jeff Magus. And here are all the cards that I'm going to try to get signed this weekend. Wish me luck. These are by Alex Dos Diaz. Did some of these Markov Manor kind of the file cards from the showcase versions. So I try to get all the showcase cards when I can. We have Bruce Bernice did Radiant Lotus and Paradise Lost from Unfinity. So I'll try to get that signed by Bruce. Bribe Taker is Christopher Burnett. Also did the Gudul Lurker. I'll try to get those signed by Christopher. Dan Miriyama Scott did a number of cards. Eric Deschamps did Rebel and Riches, one of my favorite cards. I picked up the artist proof from Eric at the last, I think it was the Star City Games convention here in Minneapolis. I like to go to their booths, meet the artists, have them sign these cards, and then check their binder to see if they have any artist proof cards that I could pick up as well. Here's a Mull Drifter by Eric Fortune, who did the borderless version and the retro frame version. I'll try to get those signed if I have time. I found out that the Gen Con artists, their lines are somewhat shorter than Magic Cons. If you've been to Magic Con and waited 30 minutes to 90 minutes in line for some of the artists, hopefully at Gen Con the lines will be a little shorter. Here's some Future Sight cards that Eric Fortune drew. I just went through all of my boxes to find out cards that these artists will be appearing at Gen Con and pulled them, set them aside. Here's some Erica Williams extended art cards. Joe Sluker did the Underworld Cookbook from Modern Horizons 2. John Stanko did Containment Priest. We also have some of these Innistrad double feature cards. This one is by Mark Boehm. I'll have Mark sign that. Mark Poole did this Secret Lair artist series. Mark Poole, I think I'll have Mark sign the box like I've done previously, and then I'll have Mark sign all of the cards inside this box. Mark also contributed to Camelot Legends, so I'll have Mark Poole sign the High King, King Arthur from Camelot Legends, and some of the Sirs, Sir Bors, Sir Akalan, some mountains from Tempest. I'll have Mark sign this Panoramic Mountain. Mishra's Factory, Howling Mine, Sol Ring, Commander Sphere, Retro Frame Lands, Snow-Covered Wastes that I like to get Mark sign. I'll have him sign a bunch of those, and foil, non-foil. Mark Tadine will also be there, another legendary Magic Gathering artist. I'll have Mark signed the Fallen Empires booster packs as well as some Magic the Gathering singles. Both Mark Poole and Mark Tadine have not drawn sorcery yet, but hopefully Eric at Eric's Curiosa will tap Mark Poole and Mark Tadine to draw for sorcery someday. I'll have Mark sign this foil etched to Spark and some foil doubling cubes that kind of gleam in the sun, as well as some Chaos Confetti by Mark Tadine. Last but not least, we have some cards by Lena Richards, who did this counterspell from Strixhaven Mystical Archives. Omar Rayon did the Snow-Covered Forests. Quentin Gleam did this Sylvan Scavenging. Rhonda Libby is now one of my favorite new artists for Magic the Gathering. Rhonda drew this Ruthless Negotiation Raccoon. I'm going to have Rhonda sign this and see if I can pick up the artist proof from the Ruthless Negotiation. Rob Ray did this whole seasonal borderless islands in the Bloomborough set, so I have each of those summer, fall, winter, spring signed by Rob. I've also got this Sarah Finnegan, Snow-Covered Plains. Scott M. Fisher will be there. He drew Mishra Artificer Prodigy, which is now my commander for my very first EDH deck. If you watch my Brothers War EDH deck tech, you'll see that I put Mishra Artificer Prodigy as my new commander, so I'll have Scott sign those. Steve Ellis did Gigantha, the Wellspring Showcase. Tran Nguyen did Locked in the Cemetery. And then one of my other favorite modern artists, and finally on the list today, is Zara Alfonso. She drew Vivian Reed, which is a really popular showcase card, Planeswalker. So I'll have Zara sign several copies of those, as well as Slip Out the Back, Nahiri's Warcrafting, and Novice Occultist, also from the Innistrad double feature. So thank you for watching my Gen Con preview video for this weekend. Let me know in the comments what you're most excited to have me sign at the convention. I'll send some updates from the convention in Indy on Saturday and Sunday to let you know when I get my hands on the Dragon Lord mini set, and I'll do some box openings. If I can get multiple Dragon Lord mini sets, I will open those on the channel. Appreciate everyone for liking and subscribing. Hope you learned something today. Stay tuned and have fun in Gen Con if you go to Indy this weekend. I'll see you there. Thanks, everyone. See you in the next video.